What's going on, guys? Kalibus Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the BLU V91. I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about this phone to decide whether or not it's the right one for you. So let's get into it. So before we go any further, let's take a look at what comes in the box. So in here, we got a USB-C cable, a pair of 3.5mm headphones, a wall adapter, a screen protector, a nice little temporary phone case, our quick start guide, a SIM card removal tool, and finally, a BLU sticker. This looks pretty cool, actually. The phone itself aside, BLU actually includes a lot of cool stuff in their boxes, which I can definitely appreciate. A lot of manufacturers out there give you nothing but the phone, the quick start guide, and Apple is actually not even giving people chargers anymore. So I do like how BLU has this set up. It's almost like a little welcome kit along with the phone itself. And without further ado, getting to the actual phone. So this phone has a 6.5-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720p, a PPI of 270, an aspect ratio of 20:9, and a screen to body ratio of 82.3%. We got a hole punch here for the front-facing camera. It does look really clean and nice, and this camera is 16 megapixels, so not bad for the quality either. Right now, I do have the brightness set at 100%, and I would say that even though it's only 720p, it does look really good. The back is made of a matte material with a kind of cool texture, and it doesn't pick up fingerprints very easily, which is another good thing, because with this, you won't have to worry as much about keeping it clean as you would with a phone that has those glossy finishes that pick up fingerprints super easily. Overall, the design of the phone is really thin, so despite having a display that's on the larger side, it's really comfortable and easy to hold in your hand and to carry around in your pocket. This phone has 128 gigabytes of internal storage with micro SD card expansion, and that's on the higher side, not only for its price range, which it is for sure, but also just for phones in general. Really, the only higher you're gonna get than this is 256 or maybe 512 in the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. In the highest end iPhone 12 Pro Max, maybe it's gonna be that high, but in an entry-level phone, 128 gigabytes is pretty much the best you can get. And this phone also has micro SD card expansion, so even if you're a power user with lots of apps and lots of photos and videos, you're still pretty unlikely to run out of space with this phone. There's no wireless charging with this phone, but it does have a fingerprint scanner right here on the back, as well as face unlock. Let's give this fingerprint scanner a try and see how it works. There we go, one more time. And there we go. So as you can see, this fingerprint scanner is really fast and responsive, so no issues there. And if you don't like using a fingerprint scanner, or for some reason you can't, like you have a glove on or something like that, then you can use face unlock as well. We got a quad camera setup on the back with a 16 megapixel rear camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera. So for the camera features, this phone has pretty much everything. Whether you just want to take nice pictures with the rear camera, or maybe a few pictures with portrait mode, or you want to use the ultra wide or macro camera to use the more specialized features, this phone really has it all. This is a photo taken with the rear camera of the phone. As you can see here, the picture actually does look really good. It's not the high-end quality you would expect from a flagship phone by any means, but it is a really good picture that you can use for most situations. So if you're more of a frequent user of the camera and like to take a lot of really nice photos, this is gonna work out really well for that, because not only does it have lots of nice features, but it also has the ability to take really high quality photos with those features. For video, this phone can shoot videos up to 1080p in the rear and front cameras, but be aware that since the display is only 720p, you're only going to be able to view those videos in 720p on the phone. I'm going to show you a quick video sample from this phone so you can get a better idea of what it's capable of as far as video goes. We're just doing a quick video test with the BLU V91. We are shooting in 1080p right now. Also keep in mind the audio quality. So as you can see from that, the video quality is actually surprisingly decent. The only thing I really don't like about it is the audio quality. I think the audio quality is pretty bad, especially if you're really trying to do anything serious with the videos. Maybe you're doing some sort of content creation for social media, even YouTube videos or something like that. It's probably not going to be very good with that audio. But if you really want to get good videos with this phone, you could get an external microphone, but still, I wouldn't really recommend this phone for more serious video purposes. Now, if you're shooting videos for social media more on a casual basis, or you're using something like Snapchat where the quality just doesn't matter at all, then it's going to be perfectly fine. But again, if you really want to get into shooting good videos, this phone is probably not going to be quite at that level that you want. Internally, the BLU V91 is getting 4 GB of RAM with the MediaTek MT6 762V processor. I ran a Geekbench 5 benchmark test on this phone and it came back with a single core score of 139 and a multi-core score of 856. So it's really not the best out there, especially in this price range. It's still what I would consider an entry-level phone, but at the price range that this phone is in, there are lots of other phones that have quite a bit more processing power than this. So honestly, if you're looking to do just basic activities like sending text messages, making calls, taking pictures, doing some light web and social media browsing, this is going to be just fine. It's not really going to matter a whole lot. I haven't had any performance issues with this phone, so for basic normal activities, it will be fine. But if you're trying to get into that high end, where you're doing more mobile gaming and video editing and that sort of thing, then you're probably going to want to look for a phone that has more processing power. But what I would do is run a Geekbench 5 benchmark test on your current phone and compare it to this and see if it's actually an upgrade. This phone is decent at a lot of things, but one thing it's really good at is the battery. This phone has a 5000 milliamp hour battery that supports 10 watt fast charging. So not only are you getting really good battery life, both throughout the day and as far as longevity goes, but you're also going to be able to charge up your phone really fast with that 10 watt fast charging if your phone does happen to run out of battery during the day. So if you have a more mobile lifestyle, if you don't really have time to sit around with your phone plugged in all day, this is really going to be a benefit. So now that we've gone over some of the specs of this phone, let's take a closer look at the hardware. On the left here, we have the slot for the SIM card and the micro SD card. On the right side, we have our volume keys and our power key. There's nothing here at the top. It is really smooth and nice looking. On the back, we got the camera setup and the flash, as well as our fingerprint scanner. At the bottom, we got a 3.5mm headphone jack, the microphone, a USB-C charging port, and the speaker. There's a BLU logo right here at the bottom left corner. So in conclusion, my final thoughts about the BLU V91. I would say this is a really good, well-rounded, entry-level phone. The processing power isn't great, but I really do like the overall design of the phone. It looks nice and modern and has the hole punch camera that really adds to the look. The display itself is on the larger side, which is going to help with content consumption like video streaming and reading and that sort of thing. And even though the display is only 720p, it still does look really nice. So viewing stuff like photos and social media isn't going to be bad on this phone either. We got a really nice camera setup that has a little bit of everything. It's not the best quality in the world, but it is good enough for a decently frequent user of the camera. Maybe you like to take lots of nice pictures for social media or something like that. It's going to be perfect for those situations. And if you are taking lots of photos and videos and have lots of apps on top of that, this phone has 128GB of internal storage with micro SD card expansion, so you're going to have no trouble storing it all. And in addition to that, the battery of this phone is really big, so you're going to get great battery life too, which never hurts. Overall, the BLU V91 is a phone that provides a lot of value, and for a phone in its price range, it's a great option in 2021. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next video.